Radio show, John Boy and Billy on the Fox.
Is in the studio right now. Good morning, Mr. Gorshin.
Hey, nice to see you, Billy Boy.
John Boy, that's Billy Boy. I mean, that's Billy.
John, what? Oh, what?
Billy? Bill?
It's too early. Yeah, nice to be here.
Golly, I meet another one of my heroes, and he calls me Billy Boy.
He's probably getting even for you going and saying that you loved him when he was the Joker.
Yeah. The Riddler.
I did
the
not say the Joker, you idiot. I don't say that. I mean, the Batman, like, I grew up, I know, I don't know, but I'm going to ask you. But first of all, let me say, I grew up, like, with Batman when it started, you know.
Right. Now, what was all that you said?
Okay, let me start over.
There's a whole bunch of things there.
Hi, Mr. Gorshin. I'm Billy Boy. Good to see you.
No, you're not.
But like when I first saw Batman, I thought it was like serious stuff. I was young and thought, it was serious. I mean, it wasn't until...
When I did it, I thought it was serious. So when it came on the air, I was really surprised.
But do you find, I mean, most people kind of remember you for the little part you played as the Riddler in Batman? Is that...
Well, it wasn't a little part. Well, no wonder I called you Billy Boy. I had a feeling you were going to say a little part.
No, he's talking about it was such a small part of the broad scope of your career. I think that's what he was.
What a classy guy your friend is. John Boy. It was John Boy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you might be embarrassed, like, looking back. I mean, your outfit. I mean, it looked good on you. I mean, I couldn't wear the tight green outfit,
you don't have the figure for it.
Well, I'm sure there's a size for everybody. There would have been a size for you.
You reckon?
Sure, been a big question mark.
Of course, with Johnny, it would be a big exclamation point.
But I get most people recognize me from that, because that's been on forever, and they still show it in a lot of situations.
Oh yeah,
the rerun.
Still around here, of course, and I've been working on an imitation of you, and these guys tell me that it's not good.
Oh, don't do it.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I was just like, I mean, who would have known when I started doing the imitation that I would actually have you, Frank Gorshin, I could do it and you would tell me honestly.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I'll get you, Cat Crusader. I'll get you, Batman.
But no laugh?
Oh.
What about the laugh? You gotta do there you go.
See, he liked it. I told you guys.
He's just being polite. Yeah, I noticed it also says here in his biography they sent over, he's unfailingly polite no matter what the circumstance.
Unfailingly.
Maybe that's what we're saying a little bit.
That's great. And we were talking about you earlier this morning on Star Trek. Remember when you played like the half white? You were painted half white?
That's right, yeah.
White guy?
Yeah, it took an hour and a half to put that makeup on every morning.
Now, we were trying
One morning he goofed, the makeup guy.
Is that right?
He put the black where the white should have been, and he put the white where the black should have been. Uh-oh. But it was okay, because he made the same mistake with the other guy. And nobody'd ever do. Commissioner Beale, that was the name of the character I played.
Ooh.
Let This Be Your Last Battlefield was the name of the episode. In fact, they've included that in, there's an album of Star Trek, a cassette of 12 Star Trek stories, which they considered were their best. And this is included.
That's right. So, Randy has that. Yeah. We were talking about this morning. So, do you remember, like just back to Batman for a second? Were you guys like cracking up? I mean, during do you remember anything like Adam West? What an actor.
He's great. Yeah, he was terrific. I thought he was great in that role. That was a tough role to handle.
And he was smart. He figured out every riddle that you threw at him.
Robin was actually better than he was.
Him out. Yeah. Yeah, the kid did a lot of that. I have to go back and look at some of those.
That's right. Do you remember how you did your voice? Say it sounded like this. I'll get you.
That's tough. I know. I can remember. I just do the laugh. Well, that's nothing like yours, is it?
Boy, you don't sound at all like it. And, I mean, a lot of people, I guess, was found out reading about your stuff. I mean, you were on Broadway and stuff. I mean, you've just done it all. You were, Randy saying you were on the Best of the Ed Sullivan show back this anniversary.
Let me find out what else I've done.
And you were, like, on the cutting edge, you were one of the very first impressionists that really, like, of the new era that was playing in Vegas and stuff.
Yeah, I'm reportedly, like, the first impressionist to headline Vegas.
Wow.
And I remember the first time I auditioned for the first national television show I did, which was the old Steve Allen show. And that was on Sunday nights opposite Ed Sullivan.
Uh-huh.
I went to New York to audition for it, and I was in the office with a bunch of other guys that are auditioning, you know. And the casting director, was the late Nick Vanoff. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. He's produced a lot of things. In fact, he produced Jackie Mason on Broadway, and then subsequently passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the casting director on that show, and he approached me and asked me what I did. You know, and I told him I do impressions, and he said, "Well, we've had so many impressionists on this show. Don't be offended if we don't find the need to use you."
Right.
And I said, "That's all right." And they said, "Who do you do?" And I said, "I do Kirk Douglas, Burt Lancaster, Richard Widmark, Marlon Brando." He said, "Wait a minute, hold it," because these people had never been done up to that time. You know, up to then, it was Walter Brennan, Cary Grant, and James Cagney. He said, He said, hold it a second. He went into the room where they were rehearsing the current show that they were doing that Sunday. And he came right out, and he said, "Come on right in." They took me in, and Sammy Davis was the guest star on the show. And they stopped the rehearsals long enough for me to audition. And I did my things, my Kirk, and they were breaking up. I finished. Sammy Davis got up, ran over, and he threw his arms around me, and he says, "If you were a nigger, I'd kill you."
And I mean that.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that. It made me feel so terrific, you know.
All right, we're with Frank Gorshin. He's in our studio. We're going to break for these commercials and be right back. Don't go away. Morning, it's the John Boy Billy Big Show here on the Fox, 6 away from 9 o'clock. Frank Gorshin is our special guest on Open Line. I mean, in the studio. We're going to keep him around all the way through Open Line here today. Did you know that, Frank?
I had no idea. No.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I got to be in Gastonia.
They'll wait. They don't have anything else to do.
It's a high point of the tour.
We just opened it right up here at 9:30 and go right through 10 o'clock. And your chance to talk to Frank. You know, I was in the bathroom doing the commercials thinking about you. And
a lot of people tell me that.
Yeah, I was like, you know, okay, I bet like I'm the only guy that ever done an impersonation of the Riddler and forgot to laugh. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you were thinking about that, John, huh?
He said, "What about the laugh?" I said, "Oh yeah." I mean, that's kind of the trademark. So. but you being like an impressionist, a groundbreaking historical impressionist, you know, could you do a few for us, a few of your favorites, whether like one of the first ones you did or
what was the
like
first
that?
one? The first one?
Okay, second.
Well, wait a minute. I'm trying to think. What happened was I used to work as an usher in a movie theater, and I'd see these people. I never said I'm going to be an impressionist, but I'd see them over and over again, and I'd do them. I'd find myself doing them. I'd do them for the ushers, you know. I'd do them for people who came in. If there was a gangster movie playing and a couple came in, I'd say, "All right, the three of us are going down this aisle, but only one of us is coming back." That's where they all started, you know. And I never thought I'm going to be an impressionist, you know, someday.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated high school, I had one more year to go in high school. I thought, what do I do now? I thought, well, I'll study acting, you know. I'll develop some kind of stage presence because I found performing and making people laugh.
Where were you living?
In Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Right.
I went to Carnegie Tech, which is now Carnegie Mellon. And I studied acting. I think that's what I want to do. I want to act, you know. And, of course, I've had most success. The most success I've had has been because of the impressions. And then, you know, the Riddler, too.
Yeah.
But...
So you were doing Marlon Brando. Like, the most Marlon Brandos we're here now is like when he's a Godfather. Yeah. You know, like... Yeah. Oh, Don Corleone, Don Corleone, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. When I first did Brando, I used to just talk about how versatile he was. So remember him in Streetcar Named Desire, he plays Stanley Kowalski, and he said, Stella, I've been out all afternoon bowling. And I expected to rush in real quick, take a quick shower, and leave right away. What do I find? Your sister Blanche has been sitting on the toilet now for 25... Then he turns around and does something like Julius Caesar, and he says, friends, brothers, and countrymen, help me get Blanche off the toilet. See, I haven't done that 20 years. And now I do him as the Godfather. Well, I gotta get in the job. So I can think. Like John.
Man. All right, we got to catch up here. It's a couple minutes away from 9 o'clock.
Where am I here? Where am I appearing?
I'm sorry, Comedy Zone.
Oh, that's right.
Might want to mention that. Yeah, Frank Gorshin.
I don't want to miss it tonight.
It's in the Comedy Zone, 568-HA-HA for your reservations. Or if you need a reminder later this afternoon, 568-HA-HA, the Comedy Zone on Independence Boulevard. Tonight, tomorrow night, Friday, and Saturday, you got a couple of shows?
Yeah, 8 and 10 o'clock.
Okay, and then what about Sunday? Staying through Sunday? Through the Sunday show, 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
okay.
Sunday, 8 o'clock
Good.
too, yeah.
We'll get your reservations. It's going to be a good one. And we're keeping Frank right here. We're not going to let him go. No, you still hadn't got it. Last week was the last week you lose 10 pounds for free. And, like, everybody called. You all called, and it just was no way that they could get the appointment set up. So then, like, you'd have been out of luck if you couldn't have your appointment by Saturday. So what they did, Rock and Robin said, hey, all right, one more week, because we want everybody to take advantage of it. It was so successful. 10 pounds, absolutely free. You call 568.
No.
That's what I call when I was thinking about losing. No, 525-5000. 525-5000. If you're thinking about, remember Frank in his Riddler outfit. You know, could you put on a tight green outfit without somebody going, no? Call Nutrisystem and lose that weight, 10 pounds. Absolutely free. 525-5000 for the Nutrisystem nearest you.
The laugh is getting better.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just picture me in that green outfit. We got Bill Limmer, Fox Weather Channel meteorologist right here, talking about how cold it's going to be next couple of days. All right, coming up on the big show, we got Frank Gorshin in our studio. We're locking the door. We're keeping him all the way through open line so you'll have a chance to talk to him as we open them up right at 9:30 this morning. Okay, you ready for open line? I know I am. Frank Gorshin, live in our studio. We open them up next. Good morning, it's 924, 99.7 WRFX for Fox. It's John Boy Billy Big Show, and Frank Gorshin is our special guest. He's playing the Comedy Zone, 568-HA-HA for your reservations. Lord, what time are you going to be there answering the phone? About 11, 12, 1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock. At least, an hour before the show. We don't want to rush them. Yeah. These comedy people need their sleep. All right.
Well, it's not like the comedians have to come in and answer the phone. Don't make it sound like that. Yeah, Frank, you'll be answering the phone from 1 to 3.
Keep them calls coming. There you go.
Frank, we got a fact. I handed it to you. Somebody wanted you to do an impersonation that they said it was just amazing. They love it.
Yeah, the request is, it says, John Boy, would you ask Mr. Gorshin to do some Camelot as Richard Burton? It's amazing. Thanks. Isn't that nice?
That's neat. So
nice of her or he to remember that I do that. I do this as the final scene in Camelot as Richard Burton. Whenever I work like in Vegas and those kind of venues where I have an orchestra, because it's a whole musical thing.
Oh,
you know? And so it's frustrating because when I come to a place like Charlotte, is that where we are?
Well, we don't have any musicians.
Charlotte,
I have a trumpet over there.
No, like the Comedy Zones, a lot of these comedy clubs don't have music, so,
Right.
So it's tough for me to do that, so I have to leave that out. But thanks for the request.
Well,
Each evening from December to December. That's on. That's where the music comes in. Yeah, that's.
I'm telling you, I don't mind. I have my trumpet right over there.
Well, we mind. That's the problem.
My trumpet player is not quite as good as my impersonation, so that's why they're kind of halting on it. Okay, Minerva, come on in here. Come on in here. This is Minerva, our secretary. Frank.
Minerva.
And you have a request?
Yes, Kirk Douglas.
She wants me to do Kirk Douglas?
Yeah. Could you do Kirk Douglas
it's tough in the morning to just sewing up these impressions just like that. They don't sound right, but let me try it. Kirk Douglas? Hey, I'll tell you, I want to be champion, yeah. I want to... How's that? It's tough in the morning.
Whenever taking her finger and making a dimple in her chin while you're doing that. We'll rent her out for tonight if you need her in the Comedy Zone.
She's prompting him from outside. The guy with the dimple,
All right. Well, let's take some calls here on Open Line. Hello, Fox, Open Line.
John Boy Billy.
Yes.
How you doing this morning?
Good.
I wanted to do like a rock and roll public service announcement.
Okay. Announcement? Okay. Public service announcement.
Well, where does that leave me?
Sorry, Frank.
I could have been a contender.
But Johnny Winter's playing at 1313 this Friday. I wanted to see if everybody can make it out there.
Okay.
And,
Johnny Winter, 1313, Friday night. All right.
All right, bud. I appreciate it.
Cool. Okay, man. Hello, Fox, Open Line.
Yes, we're having a tough time here in the Riddler. Can you move him closer to the mic?
Well, you haven't been heard out there all this time?
No, it sounds like you're whispering.
You're kidding, really?
Well, I hear finding my headphones. Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
Randy? Huh? You can't hear me? Yeah, well, she can't hear us either, but she doesn't really mind that. Yeah, I understand.
We can hear you real loud now.
Yeah, you're loud and clear. Yes.
You're blaring everybody else out.
Okay, well, let me turn my microphone down now. Do you like that?
That's better.
Okay.
What's that?
That's okay. Not really. That's fine. My feelings aren't hurt.
No, I'm sure they're not.
Okay, so...
Thanks.
Okay, we'll do that.
Bye.
Move them closer to the microphone.
You mean for a whole hour I haven't been heard? I gotta come back in tomorrow and do the whole thing all over again.
Okay, do over.
What?
Hello, Fox.
Hey,
Yes.
John Boy.
Yes.
This is 11.
Hey, 11.
Used to be 9, but now we're 11.
You changed your number since Elliot moved.
Yes, sir. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy. Hope you feel better.
I'm working on it.
Randy ain't saying nothing to you. Hey, John Boy,
Thanks.
what we're going to have for a bet this year?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's bet a 6-pack on every race.
Let's,
Billy Virginia
no.
one draft against Bud.
Oh, no, I
No,
won't do
okay.
that. No, I don't want to do that. Because I don't drink anymore. So
Oh, you don't?
How about some Gatorade? Wait a minute. No, that's got too many calories.
Yeah. We got to figure something out between now and Daytona.
What about those Rascals? That new soft drink, Bill, that we did a commercial for?
Oh, yeah, the raspberry drink.
Oh, God. Yeah, that.
No,
Hey,
come
Frank.
on.
Well, what do I do? Do I jump in here anytime?
Frank, I want to ask you anything, just anything.
Yeah.
Are you into Winston Cup racing?
Am I into it?
Charlotte Motor Speedway and everything. Are you into it?
No, I'm not.
But they are into Frank Gorshin because about 75 people from Winston Cup was at the
Oh,
comedy
that's
zone
right.
last
Oh,
night
that
seeing your
group.
show.
Yeah, they came in. Yeah, that's right. They came to see the show last night. What a great audience they were, too, you know. I should be in the Winston Cup racing now.
You can meet great people like this guy on the phone here.
They identified themselves as the Charlotte Speedway.
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Charlotte
Media
Motor
Tour.
Speedway media tour. That's right.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, right. That's right.
They are.
Charlotte Speedway. That's it's called Independence Boulevard.
Yeah.
Well, John Boy,
Boy,
we'll
they zip
figure
along there. They
All right,
just,
man. Well,
Hey, buddy.
we'll think of something.
We'll see y'all.
Okay. Hello, Fox, open line.
Hey, John Boy and Billy and
Good
Frank.
morning.
hi.
Hey, I wanted to say hello to Frank
Yeah, hi.
and tell him that I am a big Batman fan of the show.
Thank you.
And wanted to ask you a question. You made the comment that you weren't quite aware of the camp humor in the show. Was that something that they didn't start out with, or?
Oh no, I was just being ludicrous, being silly. No, I realized that it was camp right from the beginning. Yeah.
I think it's when they pulled out the green leotard with the question mark. I think that was a tip-off.
It was then that I knew. Yeah.
No, really, you look sexy.
Because you were in the first 2 episodes, and if you look at them, they kind of played down some of the humor compared to later when they had the cardboard, backdrops and, a lot more silliness. It was still kind of...
They did tend to kind of go a little more over the top as the show went on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but it was the intention was right from the beginning for it to be a spoof. I mean, with the pals and the
Yeah,
BAMs
yeah.
and so forth,
Yeah.
and with Batman running around with a lit bomb in his hand, saying, "Some days you just can't find a way to get rid of a bomb." I mean, it's that's going to be humor. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say I enjoyed your performance on that show and some of the other things you've done, and welcome you to Charlotte.
Well, thanks. That's nice of you. Thank you very much.
Try to come out and see, and everyone there have a good day. And
All right, man.
And you
Let me-
too.
let me
Thanks.
talk.
Appreciate the call.
Bye-bye.
Now, you were in the very first episode, Frank?
Very first.
You were
yeah.
the first guest villain, right?
Right,
Yeah.
the first one. I was the pace setter, if you will.
Wow.
Now, we were talking earlier, and I was thinking the way I remember it, the Riddler had a different costume in the very first episode. It was more like a.
I had both the tights, and then I had a suit.
It was like a suit. With
That's right. It was a double-breasted suit with question marks all over.
Well,
yeah.
when would the Riddler wear a suit, like for special occasions?
Yeah, a formal crime.
I mean, and did you and the Penguin and the Joker, did y'all just trade thugs, or did you really have your own set of thugs?
Oh, no, we had our own.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
we
right.
all-
It wasn't like a rent-a-thug kind of a thing.
Thugs are us. So you call them. Hello, Fox, open line.
How's it going?
Going good, man.
Am I on the air?
Yes, you are. Afraid so.
Well, God, I was wanting to ask you a favor.
What?
A favor?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead and ask it
Well-
on the air. We're all open here. This is open line.
Tomorrow's my anniversary.
Uh-huh.
Well, happy anniversary.
And I was wanting you to call my wife up.
Now, is this going to spoil the surprise
No, this ain't gonna spoil.
I think
She
this
ain't
is the
radio.
I hope she's not listening now.
No, she ain't listening now.
Okay, all right. Call your wife up and take her out. What is y'all's favorite place? We'll take her out there. What about Frank? Frank, do you have some time? Would you like to?
No, I won't have any time at all. But let them come to the club. We'll arrange a couple of tickets for them.
How about
okay?
that? There you go.
Get the names and everything,
Happy anniversary.
and we'll set it up for them for tomorrow night.
All right.
Hey, cool.
Is that all right?
That'd be a neat anniversary present. Yeah, I like that. And then, yeah, okay. Well, hold on. I'm gonna put you on hold. Randy's gonna get your information.
Okay.
All right, and go ahead and give him the phone number if you want us to call your wife tomorrow, and we'll call her and tell her what we got arranged.
All right.
All right. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Neat anniversary present. Hello, Fox. You know, it'll remind you of your honeymoon when she saw you naked. I'm sorry. Hello, Fox. Yes.
Billy.
Hey.
Frank.
Yes.
Listen, I'm having a tough day at work this morning. Give me a joke.
All right, now.
Got quiet.
No.
Who are you talking to?
That was the Joker that did the jokes.
Oh,
How about a riddle?
all right.
What is... No, that's a dirty one. Let me see. What is...
What?
What?
No, that's the dirty one.
Why does...
Try who?
Who
Who will?
will
That's good.
hang up on you? Best I can do. Hello, Fox.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Frank a couple of questions.
Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hey.
All right. The episode he was on in Star Trek, right?
Right.
Questions I was wanting to know about. What does he think of the new show? And who was the other character that looked like him? Who was that?
You mean who played the role?
Right.
You had to ask, huh?
Is he still living? Do you know?
No, he is. He's a good actor, too. No,
I can see his face, but I don't know what his name
wait
is.
a minute. Why can't I think of his name?
I can't remember anybody but Frank.
Yeah,
in that. So
Frank was chasing... he was the other guy.
He was the other guy. He was the
hunting
other
this guy.
race. You know, I was black on one side, white on the other, and he
that's right. He was the
black and white on opposite sides.
I
Yeah.
see.
I've seen
Yeah.
this episode like 20 times. You know?
And that busing thing to the Enterprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was more of an allegorical kind of a thing
Yeah,
than actual. Yeah.
It was, and it was a good message too in that episode.
Yeah,
What do you-
I really can't remember his name.
What do you think of the new show?
Have you seen the Next Generation?
Next Generation? Yeah, I think it's terrific. Yeah, and the fellow that plays the lead is talented. I love his voice. It's got a great...
Yeah, Captain.
Have you met any
Pinkard.
of them?
No, I haven't met any of them. No.
Okay.
Well, another thing I want to know, just out of curiosity, right?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
58.
58.
58. So how old were you then?
Don't I look good?
Well, you sure do. Look darn good.
See you in a while, brother.
We were just talking. Frank said he's gained like 15 pounds since he was in the Riddler's costume. And that's not bad from 68. You know, I've gained about 15 and a half, since 68. So I've gained just a little bit over.
Since the outfit you wore yesterday.
So 58. All right, now I'll figure this up. This is 92. And what year was a Batman?
66 was the first year. Yeah.
66.
Well,
12 on a
wasn't
66.
you in the pilot episode, right? The movie?
The 60... What, the first
So-
movie, you mean?
Right.
The first movie was in 68.
So Frank was 32. You were 32 years old when you were playing.
I guess so.
I just figured it out. Yeah.
Now, was the movie, the original Batman movie, was this like actually done at the same time that the TV show was starting up? I've read that somewhere, that the movie was kind of like a pilot for the series.
No. We were on the air for 2 years before the movie was done.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah.
if they would ask you to come back as the Riddler for the new movie, would you do it?
Oh, sure it would, but I don't think they have any intention of doing that. I think it was a deliberate attempt to, on the part of the producers that are doing these new Batmans, to avoid using anything connected with the old series. Because this is, I loved it. I thought the first Batman movie, the one that was out a little over a year ago,
Right.
was sensational, but it was a whole different approach. It was dark and mysterious and heavy,
Yeah.
But the series was a spoof. It was a comedy. So I would think the producers don't want people to be reminded of the humor aspect of it.
The interesting thing is that a lot of people say, oh, well, the comic book fans say that the series was one of the worst things that ever happened to comic books as far as them being taken seriously. But the thing about it is the series was very much like the comic book at the time that it came out. The cartoon...
it had a comic book
larger
treatment,
than life, it was definitely...
But it really was not. I mean, the movie with Nicholson and what's his name? Oh, my memory started. That happens
Michael
to
Keaton.
get old. Michael Keaton, yeah. The movie I thought was an attempt to create the comic book, because the comic. I remember when I was a kid, I loved Batman comics, but it was really heavy and dark, and it really, there's nothing funny about it. And I thought they were.
Does anybody know in one of the upcoming Batman movies if the Riddler is going to be portrayed? Like a Joker was?
There's Michelle Pfeiffer is playing the Catwoman. And Danny DeVito is the Penguin.
But there's no Riddler.
So no talk yet. Okay.
You're gonna take that Wall Street. That's yours. Yeah.
By the way, our buddy Jim Mack faxed us. The answer is Scott Marlowe is the guy who played opposite you on Star Trek. Scott Marlowe. Is that right?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim.
Where did you get that? Where did you get that?
Jim Mack just faxed it to us.
I know who Scott Marlowe is, but it wasn't Scott Marlowe.
It wasn't him. Okay.
No.
Guess again, Jim. You're wrong. All right. I'll get you for that, Jim. Hello, Fox.
Tony somebody. Tony...
Bennett.
No.
Curtis.
Tony Bennett.
I'll kill you.
My deepest soul, you're my everything. Yet in my...
All right. Oh, no.
That Tony.
We're going to thank on it. We have a call holding from West Virginia. Oh, my goodness. All right. Green tights and all, I have a feeling. So hang on. We'll be back with Open Line as we continue next. Good morning. It's 17 away from 10 o'clock at John Boy Billy Big Show. Frank Gorshin, our special guest. He's playing the Comedy Zone this week, 568 Ha-Ha for your reservations. Is this that West Virginia line here? Hello, Fox.
Earn my living driving a race car.
Do what?
I earn my living driving a race car.
You earn your living driving a race car?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
You might think I'm silly, but the king of them all is John Boy and Billy.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to know if Frank Gorshin remembers me.
Should he?
Did we meet, you mean?
Have you played West Virginia lately, Frank?
Well, I was...
Have you played in West Virginia
She
lately?
wasn't in West Virginia.
I just want to know if he's played. You see, we built a house up here in the hills, and we put the floors down, and if we like him, we're going to add the walls and the roof next year. That's real living. Not many people got them things here. We got one of them picture boxes wired up to a telephone pole, and all of us lay around on the hills and watch it at night, and it's fun, Frank, honey.
This is some conceptual humor from West Virginia. I guess you're wondering.
I'm the dyed-in-the-wool one. And when you coming to West Virginia, baby? Some of us up here speak English.
Boy, I'd like to come there and visit your floor.
I'm telling you, and you talking about knotholes. See, the mice can come up through the knotholes, and they got a nice warm place to sleep because we cover up with tars. With them rubber tars off of cars. How do you like your red Chrysler Baron convertible?
How did you know I have that?
Well, I heard it had a top on it.
Do you have that?
Yeah, I was a local dealer here. Oh, I wish I could drop the name, and I can't remember the name of the dealership. Anyway, they were nice enough to let me have use of a red LeBaron convertible.
I saw you flitting around the town here.
Oh, you son of a gun, you were away from your floor.
Yeah, I got off the floor. I got up on the wrong side of the floor this morning. That's why I'm in kind of bad mood. You know what I did?
What?
I slept like a log. I woke up in the fireplace.
That's better than sleeping like a baby.
Oh, Yellfest. You fell a mouthful there, Bellfest.
Yeah, went to bed, slobbered on a pillow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the deal.
You feel free to use that one, Maxine, next time.
Use what?
All right, nothing. Never mind.
I wish you a lot of luck, baby. I've seen you many times. I think you're great, and those two guys you're with are the greatest.
Well, thank you very much. Frank and Billy are, all right?
Yeah. She was talking to you.
Hey, tell all those people down there to keep those cards and letters flying. I'll try to get these other 5,000 I got after.
All right, Maxine.
Okay, thanks.
I love you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, baby.
Hello, Fox, open line.
Hello, first-time caller. Oh, gosh, I just love you to death.
See, people are easily amused around here, too, Frank. You'll find out when you're playing
we've lasted so long around here.
That's terrific, yeah.
My husband hates John Boy. He's always saying, what's wrong with why you like John Boy so much? I said, I can't help it. He's crazy.
Oh, good. I'm dividing a rift. Was that creating a rift?
Yeah.
Well, good.
I just wanted to welcome Frank to Charlotte.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's nice. My first time here, and I'm having a great time.
Is that right? First time ever here?
Yeah, I've never been to. No, I've been to South Carolina. Where's Hilton Head?
Yeah, Hilton Head's South
That's
Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, down
yeah.
the coast. Yeah.
So this is it's really nice.
Yeah, I grew up watching Batman. We didn't never miss any of them.
Hey, well, did you think it was serious at first when you were watching it?
Yes,
I did,
my
too.
daddy told us. He said, "Look, they're not going to kill them because if it is, they've been into the show."
That's right.
That's the first time you ever heard that. Because every episode, you'd get them down and you say, all right, this is it. They're going to die. I know it, and worry about it for a week.
We did. We sat there on the edge of the chair waiting.
Dad, they ain't going to kill them. They're Joe. All right.
Show, wasn't it? Too bad it didn't have Ernest T. Bass on there.
Say, you're pretty crazy, you know?
I like you. I hate your husband, though.
John Boy. He said, shut up about John Boy.
I'm beginning to see why he might,
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Don't holler out my name at inopportune times, all right? I'll get you. All right, thank you very much. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Randy, I'm going. Randy pointing. Another call. Hello, Fox, open line.
Hey, John Boy and Billy.
Good morning.
How you doing? Frank,
Yes.
big fan of yours, bud. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend. Maybe I get a chance to meet you.
Yeah, you coming in, huh?
Yeah,
What night you coming in?
Friday night.
Well, I can't make it that night.
Oh,
That's
no.
bad for me. That's.
Maybe they'll show some clips then or
We got
something.
this guy that does a great Frank Gorshin. that's gonna do that.
Okay, he's a little fatter. He's got a beard.
You know, guys, I was just thinking something, with Batman and Robin, where Batman was the one that always drove, because I guess he was tall enough to see over the steering wheel. And
Yeah, he was also the one with the driver's license.
there you go. And then Robin was like the smart one that was always figuring out the riddles and everything. And there seems to be sort of a strange connection. I don't know, a Batman, John Boy sort of a connection there. What do you think?
Bat Boy and Bobby. Bat Boy. Yeah. That is something. And I do always drive.
That's right.
Oh, Randy, will you quit pointing to the phone? This guy's interesting. I like this correlation. See, that requires thought here.
You're embarrassing the city in front of Frank. Come on.
All right, man, we appreciate the call.
All right.
Thank you.
Hello, Fox, open line.
Yeah, John Boy, Billy.
Yes.
Hey.
Good morning, Frank.
Hi.
Welcome to Charlotte.
Thank you.
Couple of questions. Number one, was Batman your first big break in the business?
No. As a matter of fact, I never really had a big break. It was just when I started out in, I guess, professionally in 1956. I used to work a lot of little nightclubs and I'd work in an occasional television show doing a bit part, and each part that I'd get was a little bit bigger than the part before. And then I started playing bigger clubs, started doing better roles in television. Then I finally auditioned for Steve Allen. I started to get some national recognition, and I started doing more acting. I did shows like Naked City, The Untouchables, and so it was a gradual evolution. You know what I mean? I never really had any big break. But what happened was, when I did the Batman, up until that time, there were a lot of people that knew the name and weren't really sure about the face, and there were a lot of people that knew the face and couldn't remember the name. But the Batman, excuse me, I got a cough.
Sorry.
The Batman was the catalyst that suddenly brought everything together, and it's just all of a sudden after that, everybody knew who
What
Frank
about the
Gorshin
Sullivan
was.
Show when you did that? That was about 3 or 4 years before Batman. Was that one of the, stepping stones?
Well, but I had already done Steve Allen's show,
Oh,
too.
that's right.
That was on Sunday nights. He was
So-
opposite Sullivan.
So was
yeah.
Steve Allen bigger than Sullivan back then?
No, Sullivan was really bigger, but Steve Allen was just another step.
Right.
And then after doing the Steve Allen shows, I did the Sullivan show.
I hear you. Okay.
Okay, one more quick question. I'm an organic landscaper, and I wish you could explain to me in the Batman movie when the guy's dehydrated and they rehydrated with the atomic water.
Yeah.
What exactly happened there? Why did they poof out when Batman hit them?
Well, I'm not an organic landscaper, so I really. Oh, you're talking about the movie, right?
Oh.
When they dehydrated all those politicians from around the world.
And then they all got...
I was thinking
They were
about
each in their separate jar, and then they all got mixed together.
That's
and
right.
they kind of unscrambled them.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was thinking about the goons that were dehydrated that got sent down into the Batcave, and they rehydrated with atomic water.
Oh, that's right. And then when you would sock one across the jaw, they would disappear.
Yes.
Oh, well, see, I was thinking they made them into little cubes.
No, that was Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, that was Star
They
Trek.
were famous for making people into cubes on Star Trek.
Oh, gee whiz.
I wish I had some kind of technical...
I think it was just what they call in the business tin light.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
All right, man.
Glad to help.
Appreciate this.
Thanks, huh?
And I see up ahead, I see this. You actually did Ed Sullivan 12 times.
It's the Sullivan Show, you
Yeah,
mean?
the Sullivan Show. Yeah, no.
Yeah, 12 times. It's the Sullivan Show, you
Yeah,
mean?
the Sullivan Show. Yeah, no.
Yeah, 12 times.
That was Madonna. Madonna did Sullivan.
Okay. All right, we'll take our last break here. We'll be back wrapping up this part 3. If you're keeping up with Open Line, special guest Frank Gorshin continues next.
Frank Gorshin, comedy's #1 impressionist. He's also a singer, a stage, a motion picture, television comedy performer. That's Frank Gorshin, who is the Riddler in Batman.
The Fox with our special guest.
Before you trip over your cape, Batman, riddle me this. There are 3 men in a boat with 4 cigarettes, but no matches. How do they manage to smoke?
The Riddler.
Boy, Batman was quick, wasn't he?
I'm telling you.
He figured that right out.
Okay, guys, what's the answer?
Let me see. One of them is Rayford. No?
No.
I don't know. Does anybody know the answer?
matches.
Oh, I know the answer.
Hey, the Riddler's here. Let's ask him. I'm sorry, that just usually doesn't happen. You know? Well, the Riddler's here. Let's ask him.
He threw a cigarette overboard and made the boat a cigarette lighter.
Where do you need them?
That's great.
The Riddler.
The Riddler.
The Riddler. Oh, there's some guy down in Fort Bragg. I was down there doing a show. There's a black gentleman who kind of took care of the barracks, you know. And he saw me one day, and he dropped his mop. He looked at me, he said, "The Ripper." The Ripper. And for 3 weeks, I'll be the Ripper.
Oh, hello, Fox, open line.
Yes, first time caller.
All right.
Yeah, I understand. I heard a few years ago on a radio station in Florida that Pete Townsend wrote the original theme song to the Batman series.
Pete Townsend.
No.
I never heard that.
That's what they said. And there's also an old Who album that has the theme song with some words added to it.
Is that right?
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I was going to ask Frank about it, see if he had any insight on that or how.
I don't know anything about it. No, it's the first time hearing it, yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I heard on the radio. I guess it's true, but
I'm just talking. You know how they lie.
yeah.
They never know what they're talking about.
Yeah. So we find out Who album, they'll get our music director on it. Thank you. Hello, Fox, open line.
Yeah, riddle me this, John boy.
Yes.
Who is Lou Antonio?
Lou Antonio. That's who it was.
Lou Antonio. That's the
Yes,
that's the guy you played with Star Trek.
He's the guy that played the other character
Black on
in
the
Star
left
Trek.
side or black on the right side?
Right, yeah.
Black on
Lou
the right.
Antonio. I'll be darned. I thought it was Tony, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
You're
this
close.
was- yeah.
Whatever happened to Alfred?
Alfred the Butler.
He passed away, yeah.
Did he?
He passed away, I guess, about 3 years ago. Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, you were not the only person to play the Riddler. John Aston, who was Gomez
That's
from the
right,
Addams Family.
yeah.
Now, was that after?
No, this was during. It was in between. I think it was during the second year. I had a nightclub commitment in Chicago, and they just wouldn't let me out of it. And the studio had to do this particular episode at that particular time. You know?
Wow.
So they reached out for John Aston.
Gomez in those tights.
It didn't work.
It didn't
No,
work at all.
work. No.
Well,
And whatever happened to the Bat Diamond?
about what?
The Bat Diamond that ran everything down in the Bat Cave.
The Bat Diamond.
Yeah.
I don't
remember
That was
that.
a big power source for everything down there. It was a huge diamond.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about 20 feet tall.
Well, that's right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't know.
Liz Taylor didn't get hold of it or anything. Hey, listen, welcome to Charlotte.
Thanks.
Look forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah, thanks for that, Lou
you, sir.
Antonio.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Lou Antonio. Hello, Fox, open line.
Good morning, John Boy.
Good morning.
I've got a question for Frank.
Okay.
Hi.
I want to know what his most favorite episode was and his least favorite episode.
Do you have a favorite and a least of Batman?
Oh, of that series, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one I really enjoyed doing, and that was what was it called? The Wax Museum episode.
I bet at the end of that episode, was that where Batman and Robin were tied up and they were going to be waxed?
I was going to wax it. That's right, yeah. Dip them into the vat, yeah.
What memory on you, Johnny?
I'll wax you.
But there was no episode that I really didn't enjoy doing. So.
Oh, okay.
Who was your favorite to work with on the show? Who did you like the best? I mean, or impressed with the most? Like Burt Ward or Adam West or Alfred or Commissioner Gordon. He was an actor. Yeah. He was Chief O'Flanagan. What was his name?
O'Hara. Yeah, he passed away too. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Stafford Rep. Yeah, was his name.
Stafford Rep.
The Irish cop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he died, and well, I don't know.
You don't know?
I enjoyed working with all of them, and of course I got to work with Cesar Romero and Burgess Meredith, who were terrific when we did the movie.
At the time, that was one of the hip things as far as, everybody in Hollywood wanted to be a guest star on the Batman show.
Right, yeah. They would
it's
do
kind of like, they have all the celebrity guest stars on The Simpsons now. All the big name stars wanted to do a part on The Simpsons. It was kind of like that back in the 60s. Everybody wanted to be a
like they'd be walking up the wall, Sammy Davis Jr. would pop out the window.
Right.
Hey, babe, get me Frank.
Well, Frank, you enjoy your trip to Charlotte, and you stay away from those guys. They'll get you in trouble.
Well, I'm having a good time. Thank you.
Hello, Fox, open line.
Yeah, I wanted to say hello to Frank.
Okay.
And let you know that I've always enjoyed your work. You've done some great stuff, and there's something, I don't know if you remember this, but years and years ago, one of your best impersonations, you never spoke. You did John Wayne from the back.
From the back?
John Wayne from the back.
He did John Wayne from the back. He walked and then turned, and it was great.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I would start. Yeah, but I didn't talk. I'm sure I must have said something.
Other times you did John Wayne, yes, but this one time I saw you, I just remember you
It was
didn't
just
speak.
the walk, yeah. In fact, I did that with Robert Mitchum. Yeah, I used to do Mitchum. I could never talk like him, but I had an attitude and a stance that I used, which I, don't do anymore. And I did that with James Dean, too. I had the heaven routine. Cagney would have a dream that he went to heaven, and I would see all these people. And so they were just like passing through the clouds.
I remember that. That brings it back.
Well, good stuff. Enjoy your run, and best of luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
That's for the call, man. Hello, Fox, open line.
Yeah, hi there, John Boy.
Hey.
Billy.
Hey.
Frank.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Did you happen to see the movie, the newest movie with Michael Keaton as Batman?
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Well, if they came up with a sequel to it and wanted you to play a part in it, would you do it?
Oh, I would. Yeah, I'd love to do it again, to play the Riddler again. But I doubt that's going to happen, because they're using different people for all the roles.
Yeah. You think they'll come up with a sequel to it?
Well, there's one that's just being finished now with Danny DeVito playing the Penguin.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I wonder who would be a good one to play the Riddler.
It's hard to think of anybody else playing the Riddler now.
I know.
It really is.
Except Frank.
I don't know.
John Aston.
Perfect.
We need somebody that can do a good Riddler impersonation. Let me see.
Yeah, geez.
I wonder who we could get.
Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek. like he doesn't wear them green ties in private. Hello, Fox, open line.
I'll be the Riddler.
There's the Riddler.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Hey,
You don't sound anything like him.
you don't either.
Yeah, but it's my show.
You get a show, you can do the Riddler.
And Billy can't turn my microphone off. I control the button.
Right.
This is Luce. What's going on?
Hey, Luz.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Right.
I was wondering if this guy ever had any flashbacks, like when he's riding down the road, if he sees a car hit a tree or something, if he goes kapowie or kaboom.
Oh, I'm sure he does that all the time.
Do those words like follow you around and just kind of pop up?
Yeah, the words. Oh, I see. The little balloons up over my head. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one right now. It's a bolt and a screw. I can see it. Wait a minute.
Stay loose.
I see the hind end of a donkey over his head. Okay. Hello, Fox. Open line. We got to wrap this up here. Hello, Fox.
I will wrap it up with this one.
Okay.
I just want to welcome him to Charlotte and tell Mr. Gorsh I think he's a lot better in the field because instead of just using his voice, his body, his facial expressions, just make it an entire caricature of the celebrity that he's impersonating.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I just always seem to remember is when they were doing the celebrity roast they did of Kirk Douglas. and they had Rich Little that did, extensive routine of Kirk Douglas. And when it was the rebuttal time, Kirk Douglas got up and thanked him for doing such a marvelous impression of Frank Gorshin.
Is that right? I didn't know that. Yeah.
And he was saying, Rich Little, a man whose talent is matched only by his name, So,
Rich. Rich.
Yeah, Rich.
But the one thing I was wondering if you had bumped into some of these people that you did impressions of, what their response was, whether they, took it in the, the good side humor you meant it, or did some of them get kind of put off by it, or what?
No, I've never. Every time I've had occasion to do somebody and meet them, and they had seen the impression, they would always tell me that they were. I met that they were flattered by it. But I met Burt Lancaster, and I remember him saying. I was working at a club in San Francisco, and this is the afternoon, and I'm sitting in a cocktail lounge, and Burt Lancaster comes over, and he sees me, and he comes over to me, and he says, "Hi. I just want to tell you my family was in to see your show last night. They thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to try to make it tonight. I don't know if I can. I'm here in business, but I always enjoy it." I looked at him, and I said, "What are you doing, making fun of me?"
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Well, we ran overtime at 6 after 10 o'clock. We got to wrap it up whether we want to or not. Frank Gorshin, the Comedy Zone all this week, 568-HA-HA for your reservations. And, Frank, it's always good to meet. This job here, we get to meet some of our heroes, and you certainly are one. And you're just a nice guy. I knew you would be.
Glad I dropped in. Thanks.
All right. Good to see you, and enjoy your stay in sharp.
Yeah, I will.
Frank Gorshin, call 568-HA-HA and get your reservations for it.